not able, then we understand. John chapter 15. And we will begin reading in verse 18. John 15, verse 18. Here Jesus speaks, "If the world hate you, ye know that it hated me before it hated you. If ye were of this world, the world would love his own. But because ye are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world." If you're underlining your Bible, underline that sentence. It's very important. "Therefore the world hateth you. Remember the word that I said unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord. If they have persecuted me, they will also persecute you. If they have kept my sayings, they will keep yours also. But all these things will they do unto you for my name's sake, because they know not him that sent me. If I had not come and spoken unto them, they had not had sin, but now they have no cloak for their sin. He that hateth me hateth my Father also. If I had not done among them the works which none other man did, they had not had sin. But now they have both seen and hated both me and my Father. But this cometh to pass, that the word might be fulfilled that is written in their law, they hated me without a cause." Look, they hated me without a cause. "But when the Comforter is come, whom I will send unto you from the Father, even the Spirit of truth, which proceedeth from the Father, he shall testify of me, and ye also shall bear witness, because ye have been with me from the beginning." Father, as we come together this evening, Father, I ask that you would once again empty me of myself and my sin. Father, fill me with thine Holy Ghost, that I may preach. Thus saith the word of the Lord. Father, if there be anything that is vying for our time, Lord, I pray that we will set it aside and we will focus on your word tonight. Lord, we'll be sure to give you honor and glory. For in Christ's name we pray. Amen. Thank you. Maybe see, we'll ask God to bless the reading of his word. I want to speak to you on the subject tonight, the believer and the world. The believer and the world. As we see here, Jesus is continuing to talk to his disciples. And he's teaching them. And here we come to this portion of Scripture where he's talking to them about the world and themselves. And so if we look, number one, this is the world. If you didn't know this, the world doesn't like you. The world does not like you. If we see verse 18, it says, "If the world hate you, ye know that it hated me before it hated you." I don't know if you've noticed this about our society, but more and more is getting more hatred towards Christians. Now, this has been a theme of the world since the beginning. The world has not liked God's people, whether it's the Jew or it's God's children as a Christian, as believers. The world doesn't like us. I mean, it's so blatantly now in our society that if you're a Christian and you refuse service to someone, you can be sued. But if you're not a Christian and you are someone else, you can refuse to somebody and you're okay. Hello? Don't you remember last year with the baker in Colorado? It's how the world does not like us. Jesus says, listen, the world is going to hate you. It hates you. But remember, it hated me before I hated you. And this word hate, the Greek word for hate is miseo, which means to pursue with hatred. So Jesus says, listen, the world is going to pursue you with hatred. But remember, it pursued me first. Do you remember the Pharisees? Were always plotting to kill him. Why do you think that they always plotted to kill Jesus? Because he revealed the truth. what did he reveal really? Well, he revealed who he was, but to them, who did he reveal? Their sin, right? He revealed God, he revealed who he was to them, and he always, always revealed their sin. Now, I don't know about you, but most people don't like it when their sin is revealed. I mean, sin brings shame. But so we see here, the world doesn't like us, and it's going to pursue us with hatred. Then he says, verse 19, he goes, if you were of the world would love his own. But because ye are not of the world, he says, if you are the world will love you. This word love here is the Greek word phileo, which means to approve of. The world approves of their own. Now, I will tell you this. In our current society, that may not be so true because politics is the religion of the day. And depending on which side of the aisle you are, whether they approve of you or not. But for the rest of the world, if you are of the world, they approve of you. Because listen, the world is not going after Muslims. They're not going after Buddhists. They're not going after any other religion of the world because it's of the world. It's of its own. Right? And so, the world doesn't like you. And let me tell you, I've got really good news for you, Brother Stephen. It's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. It doesn't matter how far along we go, it doesn't matter how many more churches we open, it's going to get worse because the Bible has proclaimed so. And so the world doesn't like us. Number 2, you are not of this world, he says. Verse 19, he says, if you were of this world, the world would love his own or would approve of his own, but because ye are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world. Therefore, the world hateth you. You are not of this world, he says. The word we get chosen is from the Greek word ekomia, which means to pick out for oneself. Jesus says, I have picked you out for myself. Therefore, because I have done that, the world's going to hate you because it hates me. So it doesn't matter Brother Roy, it doesn't matter how good looking you are. The world's going to hate you. It's not going to like you. It's going to hate you because you're a believer. Jesus says, I have picked you out for myself. Now, I'm not talking about Calvinism of election. That's not what I'm talking about. When we trust in Christ, Jesus says, you're mine. Why are we his? We are bought with a price. We are not our own. Because I bought you, I'm taking you. He says, who's he talking to? The disciples. Y'all. Judas isn't a part of this, right? He says, y'all are not of this world. Hello. We are not. Those of us who are believers in this room or on this planet are not of this world. I'm just a passing through, right? I'm a pilgrim, traveling through. This world's not my home. I'm just. So, Roy, I'm so glad I have to carry you through singing. But no, see, you are not of this world. We belong to Jesus. And because we belong to Jesus, number 3, the world will persecute you. Verse 20, remember the word that I said unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord. If they have persecuted me, they will also persecute you. He goes, if ye have kept my sayings, they will keep yours also. Because if they have kept my sayings, they will keep you. He goes, They will, if they've persecuted me, they're going to persecute you. That word we get persecution is dioko, which means to make timid. The world wants to make us so timid that we do not be a witness for Christ. Hello? You ever been to you ever gonna try to witness someone and all of a sudden you get the butterflies? See, this is the world's philosophy. If they can see, as Paul Harvey once said, the greatest trick the devil has ever pulled over this world is to believe that he doesn't exist. But this is his whole plan. He wants to make us so timid that we won't say a thing, that we won't do a thing. Oh, that's why they started out the lie. You never talk about politics or religion. It's not just something we say. This is a ploy from the evil one. Listen, it's okay to talk about those things. But no, the world wants us to be timid to where we're not a witness. And let me give you, let me let you. This is free advice. It's worked with several Christians because they go to work and you can't tell the difference between them and the lost. They're like, I can't tell if they're saved or lost. I don't know. And then they'll tell you, yeah, I believe in Jesus. Well, you sure don't show it. No, Satan wants us to be timid so he can continue his plan. That's why it's so vital we go knocking doors. Right? Because the more bold you get, the more practice you get, the bolder you get. And so, number 3, the world will persecute you. But all these things will they do unto you for my name's sake, because they know not him that sent me. He's talking to his disciples here, and I see, and I'm putting my imagination. I'm trying to use my imagination. Okay, I'm thinking the Pharisees. Because he's talking to the disciples, I'm like, they don't know the Father. Because if they'd known the Father, they would have known the Son. Because that's what Jesus did. He showed them the Father. And so he says, they don't know him. And since they don't know the Father, and since Jesus came to this earth, the world has no cloak. Let's look at verse 22. So it explains that if I had not come and spoken unto them, they had not had sin, but now they have no cloak for their sin. What does that mean? The world's sins are for everyone to see. They can't hide it no more. When our spiritual eyes are open, we can see the sin. Jesus says, no, they no longer have the cloak to hide what they're doing. Because that's what Satan was doing. He was using the Pharisees to create a man-made religion to keep people from the truth. That's what Satan does with these false religions. He's using the cloak to cover it up. Hey, don't worry about these Muslims over here. Don't worry about these Buddhists over here, or these Hindus over here. Don't worry about these Jehovah's Witnesses over here. Don't worry about these people. And he's using the cloak. He's covering it up. Hey, we're all good here. Hey, listen. You're doing it differently, but you're all going to the same God. Allah is not my God. Jehovah is my God. And you listen. Google the same sign that Muslims use. The moon. It's the exact same symbol that they use in the Old Testament. Right, false God. Struggled with it entire. Google it. Satan's good at using that cloak and covering it up to hide what he's doing. You see the difference? I have my spiritual spectacles on. Once I accepted Christ, my eyes are open and I can see what Jesus is. This is why it's important that we stay F-A-I-T-A. What? Faithful. We need to be faithful. Because as soon as you start putting those blinders onto the world, kind of like when you put sunglasses, those really dark sunglasses on, you can't still see real clear. That's what happens. You no longer see what Satan's doing. The world doesn't have a cloak anymore. Verse 24, he says, if I had not done among them the works which none other man did, they had not had sin, but now they have both seen and hated both me and my Father. But this cometh to pass, that the word might be fulfilled that is written in their law. They hated me without a cause. That word cause, it means undeservedly. Jesus says, they hated me, they have pursued me with hatred undeservedly. They hate me, they pursued me undeservedly. Jesus didn't deserve to be hunted down like that. Did he? No. They hated me without a cause. You ever had someone that you just didn't like, just didn't love? I've been that way. I was that way with Brother Roy. I didn't like him one bit when he showed up. No, but I just don't know why I don't like this person. Well, the world hated Jesus undeservedly. They didn't have a cause for it. Because Satan hated this world. Hated our Savior. Right? Because Satan hated our Savior. He's the one on this earth kind of running the show a little bit, right, with the world, with the world system. He's an angel of light. He is fool. This world. Not only that, since the world doesn't have a cloak, Jesus says, since the world can't hide their sin, he goes, I'm going to send the Spirit of truth. He goes, the world's going to, they hate you because they hated me. They're going to pursue you with hatred. They're going to persecute you because they persecuted me. He goes, but I'm going to send help. He says, but when the Comforter is come, whom I will send unto you from the Father, even the Spirit of truth, which proceedeth from the Father, he shall testify of me. He goes, not only that, he goes, look, verse 27, and ye also shall bear witness, because ye have been with me from the beginning. He goes, I'm going to send help. He goes, he said, this the Comforter, the Holy Ghost, the Spirit of truth, he's going to testify of me. How does the Spirit testify of me? Well, when you're listening to the gospel, when someone is listening to the gospel, the Holy Spirit is telling them, this is true. You need this. And you can see the conviction coming on one's face when they realize it's what they need. Because Satan will do everything possible to keep them from seeing the truth. Because the Comforter is going to testify of me, and you are going to testify of me also. That is our job as disciples. And this is you cannot testify that without the Comforter. have this saying, I've said it for years, that I have giggled, garbage in, garbage out. We put garbage in, we're going to get garbage out. Listen, man, if you ever had, man, I wish I could just talk so openly about the Lord with people. Truth in, truth out. But what you put in is what you're going to get out. Not only that, the amount of it. Just, let me tell you, just a little bit on Sunday morning, Sunday night, Wednesday night, it's not enough. Because I can guarantee you, we spend more time in the world than we do listening to being here in this place, listening to preaching, listening to the Bible being taught. You want to be a witness? Listen, let that truth be a sponge. Let that truth saturate. And then it'll just naturally come out. Filled with the Holy Spirit. And so, the believer and the world. The world doesn't like it. So what are we going to do? We're going to continue. At least I'm going to continue. I've got the comfort. If you've got the comfort, you have it. You've got everything you need. The Comforter and this book. We can't do it. One day this world will try to do it, try to outlaw it. California's already trying. Listen, now's the time to follow. Listen, if you've been comfortable for all these years, and you're like, well, I just don't want to get involved in that. No, now's the time to get that jelly out of your spine and put a spike in there. Stand up and say, we're fighting. Now's the time to say that. Now's the time. It's always been the time. Maybe you've given you've allowed the world to make you think. Now, let's get truth in. Let's receive truth in, and let's put truth out. I don't know, but I'm tired of putting garbage in. When I put garbage in my mind, I doubt. I don't want to go sober. I don't want to come to church. That's the world. That's constantly why I listen to the word. Why I have sermon audio on my phone. So at the drop of a hat, if I'm doing whatever, when I'm outside mowing, I can listen to preaching. In the car, I'm listening to preaching. I want the truth. I want the truth to stand. So when I speak, I speak. And if the world doesn't like it, it's not, the time to be passive is over. The time to say, oh, that will never happen. That's what they said when taking prayer out of the school. What they said when taking the Bible out of school. Hey, just let me tell you, 15 years ago, I said, no, gay marriage will never happen in the United States. It's going to happen. Listen, the biggest thing we can do is honor. Let me tell you, somebody who's breaking into your house, if you're armed, they leave. Scariest thing for the world is I don't mean chief as a kingdom from the army. Biblical truth, biblical liberty. We need. This world is not our home. We're just passing. But let's take it. Amen. Father, as we conclude tonight, Lord, as Jesus is teaching his disciples, Lord, what this world is really about, what they're going to do, and why they're going to do it, Lord, we know what this world is about. Lord, that Satan wants to quieten every Christian that he can, every believer, and he's done everything he can, Lord, whether it's through legislation of their local government, Father, or whether it's through intimidation, Lord, that I pray, Lord, I pray for each individual that's in this room, Lord, the teens that's walking away, and the little children, and their services, Lord, those in the daycare. Lord, I pray that you will raise up churches, Lord, that are willing to fight and to testify of the truth. Lord, let it start with the Garth Baptist Church, for the city of Vegas. Lord, I desire for this church to have revival. Lord, I don't mean just revival, but an actual fire that is developed in our hearts and our souls of truth. Lord, for spreading the truth. Lord, I pray that you would be moved. For Christ's name we